Hello ladies and gents, this is Hellion, which is a new early access space survival game. The idea is you've woken up somewhere in this derelict space facility where they've been trying to colonize this new solar system which didn't quite go as planned, and after 100 years I've suddenly woken up in this cryostasis thingy pod, whatever. Yep, as you can see, this is me in my Alt Corp work suit or whatever. And I'm just going to open this pod and step out. Now, this isn't a completely raw playthrough because I have played it several times, I admit, and I have watched other people play because it's not very intuitive at all and can take quite a bit of getting used to after a while. So let's explore this station a little bit. This is an airlock, which is actually in 0G, which I don't want to go out just yet. Now this has actually got a warning on there saying if basically there's pressure in here but no pressure outside, so if I open that door now I'll get sucked out and killed, so I don't want to do that. Now apparently I can, it's going slowly because I haven't got a jetpack on or anything, apparently I can put gravity on in that thing. Let's just see, can I actually do that? If I... Apparently not. I think somebody said you can turn gravity on by pressing a key or something, but I can't remember what that is. Another pod, which somebody else might go in. Cargo interaction panel, which means you can move stuff around when you put stuff in there or on there. These crates contain parts which I randomly know that we'll need. Oh, bloody hell, we only have one. That could make life difficult for us. And this is a locker which has your EVA suit, jetpack, and helmets. First things we need are power and air, basically. So I'm going to go to this power console. Solar panels are switched off, so I'm going to switch those on. And I'm going to switch the capacitor on. What's actually using the power? Okay. And the other one is life support. That's missing two parts which are CO2 filters. I'm going to switch those on anyway, and that's going to be a problem because normally you start with two CO2 filters in that box, but we only have one. And that's not in great condition either. See, there's these lights on these components. Green means it's in good condition. It's going to work for a while. Amber or orange means it's damaged, and red means defective, not going to work at all. So I'm going to pop that in there and close it up. I really need two, but I don't have two. Servo motors. You can do a few basic repairs around the place. I think there might be some in here. There isn't. What is that actually? It does not say what that is. Oh, it's a resource injector. Now you'll notice there's actually nowhere to put stuff. I basically have to carry it, and if I want to carry something else, I have to put that down. Reason for this is because I don't have any inventory without my EVA suit. Ooh, hardcore. Okay, I'm going to put this on now. So if you just pick it up, you can walk around carrying it, or I can actually hold R to equip it. And now I has an inventory, which means I can carry stuff. But I'm not going to because there's actually no need. See, the strange thing is, even though the life support is actually kind of functioning, it doesn't, well, not really functioning properly. Well, there's one missing which affects air filtering of air filter, which I guess means that the air's not quite right. But still, it doesn't seem to have any effect in the game. Is there anything in here? Nope, that's like a little storage container, and medical box here, and we have a medi thing kit the magic healing device where you just use it and it magically heals you. I now have 2 small med packs. It's great to think that in the future there'll be these magic things where you just touch and it'll instantly close all wounds that you may have sustained. So I'm going to put my jetpack on and my helmet. Now, as you can see, I now have a little HUD which tells me I have lots of oxygen and external pressure, but because there's external pressure I don't need the helmet, that's just going to use oxygen, so I'm going to open it for now. And well, there's not an awful lot I can do here. Oh my god, this is in really bad condition. Can I swap this out and replace it with a good one that's in... oh, where was it? Was it in here? That was it. So to interact with things in the world, you drag it into there and that puts it in your hand, and then you can just drop it back in there. So I'm going to replace that. And air filter unit, I don't think I have any more of those. Okay, bit of a lag spike there. Yeah, it's not quite stable, I guess, but you know, alpha. Okay, there's not much more I can do here. Now, the only way you can actually get outside... Oi, I said open the door. Don't close on me. The only way you can get outside, unfortunately, because there's no way to depressurize this room, you basically have to vent it. So I'm going to put my helmet down, but you can actually hold shift to grab onto stuff. So I'm going to open that, and this is what happens if you basically vent a room without depressurizing it first. That was the air getting sucked out of the room. I'm going to switch my jetpack on, and now we is in space. Now controlling this is quite difficult at first, because it basically... if you've played Elite and played with Flight Assist off, you'll have an idea of what kind of thing is involved. But first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to check out this little ship over here. You normally start with this spaceship and that thing which is an airlock which you can attach to one of those docking ports. I'm not going to do that just yet, because I'll be honest, I'm not great at this game either. Unfortunately. You can also bring up a list of contacts by pressing the K key, but I don't need to because I can actually see them. And what you've got to basically do is try to align yourself and stop your movement as much as possible. You can press shift to stabilise yourself and to grab onto stuff. Normally airlocks come with one of these, which is a pressurization thingy pad, what do you call it? So I'm going to use that to... got to depressurize that first, because again, if I open it now, it's just going to blow lots of air outside and probably blow me away God knows where. So I have to wait for that to depressurize, and then I can open the outer door and go inside. So you're just waiting for this tank to fill up. Now, as you can see, the pressure warning has actually gone out here. So I can just open the outer door and go inside it. Now I could just leave it like that, but of course if I then open that door again, we're going to have the same problem with pressure, so first I need to close that door, and then I need to repressurize this room. You can't actually interact with these, but it pretty much tells you what the atmosphere is like there. It gives you the external pressure and the whether gravity is on or off. Now at this point it's actually safe to open the visor, so I'm going to do that now. And I know from experience that this is actually the top of the ship, so if I open that door and then walk through it, I'll just fall and probably hurt myself. So I'm going to open that. Now you have to orient yourself to face like this and then just drop. Now, inside of the ship, and I can do some stuff here. Let's check out the power situation. That's saying there's 2 defective parts here, and the core containment generator's looking in bad shape, and so's the thermonuclear catalyst, so I'll see if I've got any of those. But first I'm going to switch these solar panels on and switch the capacitor on. And where was the thing that I need to replace? The core containment field generator. Oh, that's there. So, I wonder if I've got a spare one knocking around. This is a lift down to the lower deck. And that's where I just came in, that ladder there. Again, we've got the cargo hold thing here. While I'm here, I'm just going to put some more air in this because I used some out there, and as you can see it's gone down to 3. And here we have a mining laser or drill or something, and a recharge station, which we don't need just yet because the suit has plenty of power. Okay, what we got in here? This is a catalyst. Did I need one of those? That is a what now? EM field controller. I don't think I need one of those just yet. So I'm going to close that. Warp cells. Need to check what state the warp cells are in. I think that's a servo motor. And that thing I just picked up is a air processor, which we don't need. And we have a CO2 filter. That's definitely going to be useful back on the station. Question is, what state's it in? Oh, that's not a very good state at all. You know, this one's red, but it's in a better state than this. Don't think I needed catalysts, did I? Okay, now, if I open this, I'm basically going to vent this room and there's no way to repressurize it, so I'm not going to do that just yet. It's a shame because it makes going up there much easier. can do is if I go to the life support control thing, there must be one somewhere. It's not there. Where are you, life support control thingy? Anyway, I can probably somehow turn off venting into that room so it won't repressurize. Ah, here we are. You can actually have a look at the rooms and turn off life support on or off in there, but I'm not going to do that. What I am going to do is I'm going to attempt to dock with a station so I can put that thing back in. Now, I didn't know this. I had to find out by watching another video, but when you sit down, you can actually interact with all of these buttons, which all do something. This one I'm interested in the dock button. Now, there are two docking modules, but for some reason that one gets you the one in this one in front, which isn't actually a docking module. So what I'm going to try and do, emphasis on the word try, is dock with this station. Yeah, see, there's the active docking port, the one that's ringed in red here. Don't worry, that's just the sun blinding me. Now, for those who haven't played Elite with Flight Assist off, basically, assuming you have played Elite at all, there's this magic fly-by-wire system which automatically corrects your course and makes your life easier. However, some people choose to play without it, so you can actually turn that off, and you can get some interesting manoeuvres that way. But basically, you have to control every thruster. So if you push left and then let go of the stick, normally letting go of the stick would stop your roll. But without fly-by-wire, letting go of the stick you'll just carry on rolling in the direction you were rolling before, and to stop your roll, you'd have to correct it by pushing right on the stick. So yeah, that's pretty much what it's like here. Now, I don't actually know how fast I'm going, which is very helpful. But basically, you've got to try and line it up as best you can. And I'm gonna hopefully let momentum do the rest here. Oops, wrong button. And we are docked. So I am going to go back up there. As you can see, I will now float up there and bang my head on the door. Because ow. And I will, as you can see, there is now an airlock there, so I should be able to just open this. I did get a pressure hazard warning. The what? Okay, that kind of I appear to have just glitched out of the spaceship. Oh, bloody hell, where am I now? Okay, that's not supposed to happen, but that is actually the first time I have successfully docked in this manner. So I'm going to go back in through this door, which I opened previously. Yeah, it's alpha. Sometimes these glitches still happen. But then, come on, you know, Star Citizen's been in development for like 4 years and they still can't make a stable alpha. Not that I'm knocking CIG at all. Now, can I close this? Hey, 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 trying to grab on here. There we go. Great. Now, when I open this, because there's no air in this, I'm probably going to get a little bit of venting in here. But it's going to, if I could like actually control it without hovering around all over the place. Again, grab on. Again, do you see that? But now this room is now pressurized, which means I can open this. And I'm going to put this thing in there. This thing in there! Oi, what are you doing? Something is not quite working right. Oh dear. We appear to have encountered another glitch. I can no longer interact with anything. Okay, that's done it. Yeah, sometimes you have to mess about a bit. It's not in the best condition, but it's better than nothing. At least we've got some CO2 filtering now. So I'll just close you again. And I shall open you. Now, as you can see, the pressure warning light has actually gone out because there is actually pressure here. So now if for some reason I want to... Now, I'm not actually sure how to undock this thing because I'm... To be honest, I haven't really played this a great deal. So what I'm going to do... Oh, bloody hell. If I can stop falling over... I think what you have to do is you have to... Okay, that means engaged and that means disengaged, so does that mean there's no docking clamps on this thing? So can I just basically go in there and... Can I just basically undock from here? Apparently not. Okay, bear with me, I don't quite know what I'm doing here. Hey, I was facing the right way. When I open this is probably going to vent, if I can actually get this undocked, that is. There we go. And now we are undocked. So what was the purpose of that little exercise? None whatsoever. I think just to see if I could do it actually. Anyway, I'm just going to pop down here and see what state the warp cells are in. Okay, basically the brighter they are the better. These aren't looking great at the moment. And that's in decent condition, so... And you've also got an observation deck here, not that there's much to observe. You see, the thing about space is, it's black, and the thing about black holes is... Okay, let's not go there. Right, now, what we want to do now is go somewhere and do some mining. So, I'm going to switch on the FTL drive, which is, if the interact button will appear right here. That's now spooling up. Not to switch the end. Oh my god, there's almost no RCS left at all. RCS is basically my maneuvering thrusters. And now I'm going to go to the nav thingy panel, which tells me where I am. And I'm quite close to this planet. So I'm going to find a nice asteroid to try and mine. Now again, I haven't quite got the hang of this totally, so bear with me. Now, where is the nearest one to me, and where am I actually? That's where I am. Okay, is it worth going to there instead? Okay. Right. So, I appear to be quite a busy area with quite a lot of derelicts. So these are the players or what? I don't actually know. Okay, let's find a nice nearby asteroid like this one, if I can get to it. And I'm going to attempt to warp there. Acceleration too high, let's switch all of those on. My god, they are in not good condition at all. And basically you've got to try and set the routes to the most efficient one. Activation want as close as possible, otherwise it's going to take forever, and that is going to go basically... You want the line to be blue basically. Ah, there we go. Initialize. Please align with blah blah blah. So, I'm now going to attempt to locate the maneuver node. And this keeps on happening and I don't know why. Okay, I'm going to replace those warp cells because I reckon that's why it's not doing it. think it was in this one. Okay, I don't actually know what condition those are in because it's decided not to tell me. I wonder why that's there. It's like a ladder, but there's a ramp blocking it, but there's a ladder directly opposite that goes to the same place. It's like, why? Okay, well, okay, so we've got... Oh, it's doing this again. Fixed it last time, let's see if it fixes it this time. Ah, okay. That's looking a bit better now. I'm going to go and store these. For what reason? I don't know, because RP. Quite a nice way of interacting with stuff. Yep. And yep. Well, it would be nice if it told you what you're interacting with more than like about 5 seconds after you mouse over it. But anyway. Now can I go somewhere? Okay. Hang on, why is that doing that? Maybe if I do that... Okay, now that they're all green, will that do it? Or is it just going to say maneuver interrupted again? I don't know about you, but my money's on the latter. And where is the maneuver node? I can't find it. There you are. Now the nice thing about it, you've got shift to basically stabilize yourself, and you'll be using that a lot. Are you going to do it this time? Answers on a postcard. Ooh, I can actually do it! Yay! And as you can see, the jump takes 33 seconds. It's quite close, but for longer jumps you tend to have to wait quite a while. Now, I'm not quite sure why it was doing that, but I'm sure somebody will know. Ah, maneuver. But it's okay actually, because we're there. Now what I need to do now is come up alongside this. Think those two speeds are actually relative speed, and ideally I want them both to be 0. Because I think the one on the right side is vertical speed and the one on the centre bottom is horizontal speed. This was actually very easy to get alongside it. Normally it takes a lot more than that. Now I don't know how to match velocity. Apparently you can't. It's actually a bug that the key doesn't actually exist. Now we should apparently be matched, so I think that means we've matched speed. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to open the ramp. The ramp. Dun dun dun. Now, because I know what's going to happen when I come back here, because I've played this before, I'm going to close this door and I'm going to depressurize this. I can't. Never mind. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to grab one of these drills, put in a battery. I'm not going to bother taking a spare because I'm not going to be out there for that long, because, let's be honest, mining is pretty boring actually. Now, helmet's on. Actually, before we do that, better make sure I've got enough air. So I'm just going to put that on my back. Now the jetpack is also my oxygen tank, so I want to make sure it's got enough, and I could do with more fuel, but I haven't got any. So, visor's down, hold on tight, and open. All the air just got sucked out here, and actually I've just realised that's probably... Why is that not coming online? Oh right, it's just a little bit laggy. It's time to start drilling. basically you want to shove the drill in there so it just goes inside the rock and drill. And I'm getting heavy ice, which is good because ice creates air. Although ideally I wanted nitro for the jetpack. Not sure what it means when sparks start flying. It probably means I'm damaging the drill, but oh well. I've got a spare. My display had actually gone into the asteroid, because that happens. Okay, now that the battery's run out, so let's head back. Ah, the ramp's actually on the front, not the back. Just like Firefly, isn't it, actually? Yeah, I see a lot of potential in this game. At the moment there's no AI or anything, it's pretty much PvP plus whatever survival thing you happen to have. So now I'm going to close that. So people group together and form guilds and stuff. And there's already all kinds of organisations which I'm going to look into at some point, but right now I'm just having a bit of a mess around. Now the reason I wanted to depressurise that is because that pressure hazard here, and if you look to the lower left where the external pressure is, it's filling up the room but very slowly. Which means it is not currently, because those two are red, it's not currently safe to drop my helmet. Lift my visor even. But luckily I've got enough oxygen to last for a while, so what I'm going to do is hold down R, which lets you remove the canister, and just chuck it away somewhere. Or in my inventory. I'm also going to take out the battery. And I'm going to stash that back here. Battery can go back on the charging station. And the canister can go on the cargo pod thingy where it can be moved into there. I can then go to the refinery, because we love mining and refining around here. And this is what I get from this. I get some of that. Those things. That's engine fuel. I think that's oxygen, and that's deuterium, which is a power source. So yeah, I'm gonna do that. You can see my oxygen's on yellow now, but the pressure's slowly building up, so it's not a problem just yet. I really would have liked to vent this room though, so I could get in there and then repressurize it, but if I open it now we're just going to get a blast of air through here, which don't really want. Or do we? I mean, it's not going anywhere. Alright, we're on 0.5 bars of pressure, so should be safe to... Oh, open the helmet. And let's put some more air in it while I'm here. Right. That's because the canister is taking up the cargo space thingy. So I'm just going to drop it. Now let's just fill up the oxygen tank. Ideally I wanted some nitro so I could recharge the fuel in my jetpack. So, yeah. Anyway, that is Hellion. An interesting new survival game with lots of mining and lots of floating around trying desperately to get your ship flying in the right direction, which I guarantee you'll be doing at first unless you're experienced in flying things like Elite with Flight Assist off or some other similar space games which involve all of that which involve realistic space flight basically. So yeah, I'm just waiting for this to go out so I can go back up. And there we are. So yeah, I'm going to leave the video there and probably mess about with it some more, maybe do some more mining, maybe explore some stuff, and if anything interesting happens I'll probably make another video of that, but other than that I'm going to keep an eye on this one, and it's something to play while waiting for Star Citizen to come up with a stable build. I do like space games. Anyway, that'll be all. Bye now.